Hey, what's up, SwingTradeFX family? I hope you guys are good. This is Yemi again from SwingTradeFX. And hey, shout out to everyone that's been actually sending me DMs and emails and texts and telegram asking, "Oh, Yemi, are you okay? Are you okay?" I just wanted to clarify that I am very good. Taking some time to myself, and it's been the most rewarding ever. But guys, I can't just leave you guys hanging, right? I always genuinely want to drop consistent value for you guys so that you guys can always sharpen your trading hedge, right? And that's how I get to get thousands and hundreds of screenshots from you guys, just being excited and saying that, "Oh, I watched your video and it helped me. This is the outcome of my trade." Anytime I see that, I'm super always genuinely proud and happy of what we've been able to do. And we're not doing anything further than that in this video. What we are going to do in this video, as you can see on your screen, is I'm going to show you how I went from this setup, as you can see on your screen, right to this, right? How am I able to pick this high-accurate trade in the market? And I want you guys to just sit back and relax and enjoy yourself, and let's go, because you're gonna learn a lot here. So welcome guys. So this analysis is not going to be a long one at all, right? I'm just going to go through it so that you guys can learn, how to read the market, so that you guys can have an understanding that when you understand the power of the market and how you can simplify the market, it becomes super easy for you to just navigate, just around the market. So for me to get that started, I'm just going to go to the daily time frame. As you always know, always look at a higher time frame. And when you look at a higher time frame, it becomes super easy for you to kind of know where the market is going. So when you look at a higher time frame, what is the market doing? The market is right here at this low point right here. So what you want to do is you want to trace the you want to trace the market, right? You want to trace the movement of the market. You want to see what the market has been doing, right? So we're just going to replicate this to the top, and the market went up to this level. So now we have a low right here. We have a high right here. So what have I been able to do? I've been able to just kind of like segregate the market to where I want to focus on, right? So this is where my story begins, right? I see what the market is doing. The market is moving on a push. The market is moving on a push, is on an exhaustion, and the market seems to have started a push phase. Now, why do I call it a push exhaustion? After the market got in right on this level right here, after the market got a buy right on this level right here, the market pushed all the way to the top side. Now we have an exhaustion right here. Why isn't an exhaustion? Because it never broke the last high, meaning the market is on a possible higher low structure. So that is one thing that we want to know. But how do we confirm if the market is on a higher low structure, right? We want to look at the market. We want to trace the structures of the market, right? As the market was falling, now the market fell. The market started to move right here. This is not a higher low, and now officially the market broke this level, right? So we are having a break of structure right at this level right here. So this is a break of structure right here. So this gives us a hunch that the market is actually going to the upside. And if you're wondering why isn't us saying this place is a higher low, why not higher low right here, I think it's clear you really need a clearer and more better understanding of the market, and there's no better way to learn and no better place to learn than www.swingtradefxacademy.com. So now when the market broke this level, the next time the market starts to move, the market starts to move down. You can see all I'm doing is just telling the story of the market. The market starts to retrace all the way down to this level. And when the market got to this point, the market found an area of support right here. So meaning that, so the moment the market break this, I didn't finish my story here. The moment the market broke this confirms that we have a higher low level right at this level. So we are operating on a situation where we're fully confirmed that the market is moving to the upside. Now these actually make a lot of sense for us. Now, what factor this support? My goal is always to question why always is the market rejecting, right? And for me to be able to do that, I want to bring out my Fibonacci level, right? I have a very strong Fibonacci level right here. where the market rejects between the 61.8 fib level to the 78.6 level, right? This gives me a very good confirmation on what I need to know. But for the sake of keeping my chart clean, as you guys always know, I always keep it just very clean, and I've been able to find my support. Right now that I've found my support, right, and I know that this was the resistance point the market got to before the market started to give me a retracement. So I'm going to call this the resistance that the market got to after the market was able to trigger this break of this structure right here. So what do we have? It's pretty more simple. I just want to look at the structures of the market, right? Remember, I'm telling a story, right? I've been able to tell the story of the market from this low to this high, now forming a higher low and finding key reasons why I'm calling it what I'm calling it, right? Because of the break of the structure, right? This confirms the higher low. Now, I want to tell the story of the market to getting back to this support zone. So after the market broke, what do we have? We started to have the market moving lower lows and lower high structure on the daily time frame, lower lows and lower high structure, and we got a support. I've been able to tell the story. Now, what do we see? The market broke a structure, the market retraced back to a key fib level, and after that, we got an immediate jump from the market, right? I was able to take this trade, fantastic and phenomenal trade, right? Very high profitable trade. Now, but what did the market do after that? The market went up to this level and the market gave us a break structure. Now, I want you guys to pay attention to something. Don't just analyze and focus on the candle. Focus on what the candle is doing per time. Focus on what the market is doing per time. So apparently last year, October, the market broke this level. And ever since this year I started, right from this level, we've been having a lower high and lower high structure. This is what I mean. We have a lower high, and lower low. As you can see, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. This only demonstrates that the market has been on a retracing trend from last year, late last year into this year, and the only first time now that we have a break to the upper side happened just where was this? Let's look at it. These happened just on the 12th of May, around that time, 12 to 14, right? The month of May. So what do we have? Officially, we've broken the structure, and what do we have? We're just gonna write it all out, right? You want to keep the key information very visible. So now that we have this information, I'm very, very clear that on the long term, the market is going to this level and going back to this level. Mark my word, you can bookmark this down. I can tell you for a fact that the market is going up. Now, what have I been able to do? I've successfully been able to confirm my bias. Now it's time to do the main job. Now I want to look for places for me to find an entry in the market, right? You don't just focus on the higher time frame and forget about the lower time frame context, right? Your structure in this game is going to be your ability to focus on the higher time frame and bring the context to the lower time frame and write the lower time frame while you're still focusing on the higher time frame. So this is what makes forex trading literally hard. Forget about the strategies and the name you call it. It is your ability to look at the higher time frame, get the context, and use the context to trade the lower time frame. And while you're trading the lower time frame, you want to keep the context of the higher time frame in mind, because this is going to help you to, exit your trade, know the right point to exit and all of that. This is just a summary of multi-time frame analysis. And I teach this every single day to my students, right? And like I said, if you find yourself struggling, I think it's high time to spend the remaining half of the year actually upskilling yourself and stop losing your money and pressing the reset buttons to this prop firms, right? So now, what is the next goal that I want to do? Now, the next goal is, now that I understand that the market is going up, I want to simplify everything by telling the story of this flank of the market, right? I've been able to understand the context. Now I want to break this context into smaller structures, right? So what do I know? The market has been moving a higher high, higher low, right? And the market went on right here, higher high, higher low. A lot of you guys might be wondering, why did I skip the other lows? But listen, I thought these in the freedom course, there's something we call structures, understanding how to identify correct structures. Not every highs and lows in the markets are highs and lows, right? There's a sequence that a structure has to go through before we consider a structure, but that's not the point of my video today. So now we have the high, we have the low, we have the high, we have the low. We have the high right here, we have the low right here, and eventually the market went on this level right here, all of this, and eventually broke it at this high. So now my point of interest right here is identifying this low right here and identifying the high that the market has, made right here after the market broke this level, right? So one thing I know for sure is that the market has broken this resistance point and went on to form a high right at that level, and this is the higher low. So I want to be able to understand that the market is still moving on a higher low. Now, what does this tell us? It takes us back to the fundamental principle of structure. If you don't know, you just go through my chart structure video. I'm going to link it to the part above right so that you can watch. This market is on a higher highs and higher low structure, indicating that the market is still in a very strong bullish trend, and that is all you want to understand. That's how you want to see right here. So now that we've understood that the market is on a higher low and the higher high side, right? Now this makes sense to us. So what do we want to do? We want to tell the story of what is going on right here within the market. So what do we have right here? Before we move to the 1 hour time frame, because the 1 hour time frame is probably where I'm going to take my execution. We just want to break it down. So what happened when the market broke this structure right here? Naturally we would expect for the market to give us a deep retracement, right? And one of the retracement level we'll be looking at will be this level right here. If the market ever gets back on to give us some sort of like retracement before it continues to the upside, which I'm actually not close-minded to that. I think the market is probably going to give us that, but right now the current trend says the market is still on an uptrend. So what do we want to do? After that, the market broke the structure right to the upside, and the market started to move on a higher low, and this is where the story gets really, really interesting. So here as well, we have another higher low of the market forming right to this point. So we have the market offering us the higher low right at this point. So this makes sense to me. I understand that the market as so far is still very bullish. And after this higher low, what did the market start to do? The market started going on higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, and obviously from the high right here to breaking this point. So this is what we want to see. So this has been the story for the market getting to this point, and we can see right now that after the market formed this high right here breaking, what do we now start to have? We start to have the retracement. So now that we have this retracement, what am I looking at? Right, first of all, I'm looking at the Fibonacci level. So the market is back on this Fibonacci level again. So this level is a level I really want to look. I would really want to be looking at, as a level where the market is going to keep moving. But just let's put the Fibonacci level, let's put it aside first. Let's tell another story, right? So after the market made this higher low, okay, you see the market started to move in also smaller structures, right? Meaning that even though the major and most significant higher highs and higher lows are there, we still have a situation where the market was giving us an inside structure higher low right here. So what does that mean? Every single thing points us to the fact that the market is still on a higher low. So I'm just going to identify this right here. So this is going to be my red zone, that if the market should break below this level, this is going to be the first time we're going to be experiencing a structure shift in the market. So now that this gives me an idea of where the market is going, so what exactly am I looking out for right now? I'm looking out for a buy around this level. Now, a lot of you guys might be wondering how I tweak my Fibonacci. A lot of people traditionally trade their Fibonacci level right as this, right? But I use my Fibonacci differently. And again, if you really want to learn that, you could just text me. You can get my Telegram from the link in the description, and we can get it all kicked off. So now that we have this low right here, so we have another higher low right here, This is my confirmation. Now, my confirmation is very simple. As long as the market stay afloat of this level, right, and create this high, this is another possible higher low right on this level, and that is exactly my setup. So what am I looking out for? I want to look out for more for the confirmation. So a lot of I see the trader will call this level a fair value gap where the market came back to fill and all of that, right? But I really don't use that term. My trading system and strategy is really the most simplest and least complicated system, where I just tell the story of the market, and I'm super happy doing this in the market. So what do I see? I'm looking for more confirmations. So what are all the confirmations that I would love to see? I would love to see a confirmation right here where the market actually just hit my trend line, right? So what do I mean? I have a double trend line right here where the market is reaching. The market is offering us a touch 1, touch 2, touch 3. I'm just going to take this out. In as much as that trend line actually aligns, right, I just use it for a gauge, but the actual trend line that is actually the one that applies to this setup is this trend line right here. And a lot of you guys, like I said, I use all these tools differently. I use them with a specific knowledge, right? A lot of people are going to most likely identify this and all of that, why this is a good measure, but the most correct trend line is this level right here. And I won't tell you the reason why, but if you really want to understand trend line more, you could go on my trend line video. I really made a very valuable video on it, and a lot of people really got profitable off that video. It's going to be linked directly in the card above so that you can learn about trend line. So what am I looking at on this trade? It's very simple and straightforward. I took my trade right here. My stop loss below this red zone. You can see the reason why I identified that red zone, and I'm just not doing too much. I just don't want to be greedy. I'm just going to take my profit right here. So on this trade, I'm looking at a 1:4. On this trade, I think I'm looking at about almost 1:5. On this trade, I'm looking at 1:4.8 on this trade. So I'm going to be giving you guys an update, and I want to see how the market moves. So however this moves, I'm definitely going to be sending it in, so that I'm going to review how it played out, so that you guys can see in real time how this is going to work. So I'm really locked in on this trade. I'm really deep, heavy positions on this trade, and let's see how this trade works. Remember, get the context, come to the lower time frame, use the higher time frame context to actually trade within the lower time frame sequence, and use the knowledge of the higher time frame while trading the lower time frame sequence to know exactly when to exit the trade. And you can see how that factor into my entry and exit as well. So watch out for the update of this. I'm definitely going to give you guys an update, and God bless you. Okay, so this is the update, and this was how the trade actually played out. It really went straight to profit, and ever since then it jumped up. And what is it to see right here, right? And I'm just going to show you guys my trade management also, because I want to give you guys a full experience and carry you guys along on how I manage my trade. So my full trade management was very simple, right? When the market started to move in profit, right, I saw right here that the market broke this level right here. And when the market broke this level right here, I realized that the market might give me a retest or a deeper pullback. But when the market gave me that retest right here and went on to breaking this level, I moved my stop loss right here. So as of the time when my stop loss got here, guess what? I am actually in about at this point, I was up 1:7.4, right? So which is almost 1:2. Then the market went up again, and the market came back right here to turn this resistance again into support. The moment the market got to this high point again, I moved my stop loss from this point right here, and I moved it all the way to this point right here. So at this point, the market was actually on 1:2.67. So I'm running in profit already, right? I've doubled my risk, right? So I've doubled my profit, right? So the value of my risk was 1%. Now I'm on 2.6%, right? So I've made my risk back, and right now I'm in profit, right? So that was what I did, and this was the point that the market was into the close of the market. So I took my profit right here, about 95 to 97% of my total trade at 1:4. right here, and I took my trade right here somewhere around this point, I believe 100%. So I took my trade right here. Why? Because I didn't want to take the market into take the trade into the new week and all over the weekend. Why? Because the market has already moved over 95%, so there's no point being greedy, and that is a very big lesson. Always leave some money on the table. It's a very big rule in business. It's a very big rule in trading. Always leave some money on the table. If you act so greedy at all times, you're never, ever, ever going to be absolutely and excellently successful when it comes to trading. So it's very important for you to always leave some money on the table, especially when your trade has moved 95% and it is going into the weekend. I think it's very important for you to do that. So as you guys can see, we've been able to demonstrate accuracy with just understanding market flow. We're just working with market flow, understanding the context, understanding the story behind it, right? To me, this is actually the best way to trade, when you are kind of understanding the market from a place of storytelling, and you can tell whatever is going on in the market and you're working with its probabilities at the same time. And there's no better way to trade than this. And for you guys who are looking forward to be able to trade like this and learn my advanced strategies and learn how I see the market and interpret the market, I recommend that you visit www.swingtradefxacademy.com, and this is where you are going to be able to find my courses and enroll on it and have access to this high quality and high strategy, advanced strategy materials, where you can also use that to better yourself in trading. And you're going to be having access to me directly, to report to me, to follow you up, to mentor you through this course. And I hope you guys are learning a lot from these. And I wish you guys the very, very best. And I'll see you guys on the next video. God bless you.